Hey, P Euro. I am thrown out of the library today. My daughter's using it to do her math, so I've had to change locations. But I wanted to send you your Monday greeting here and talk to you about a few things. Several of you have been sending in homework, old homework, which is great, and several of you have asked a few questions. So I wanted to address at least a few of those things that seem to be coming up quite a bit. First of all, the question that seems to interest most students is like, what exactly is graded? What's not graded? What do I need to be doing? What are we going to do going forward? Those sorts of things. And this is like district-wide policy. So the district policy is everything that was assigned and graded prior to our last day in school. All of that counts. Those grades are in. They do count. They're not going to be expunged or anything like that. However, teachers can, and in most cases are encouraged to, find ways to remediate for missed assignments or bad assignments or anything like that. So as far as that concerns our class, everything that was due up to the our last day of school together is due. It's not going to just be taken away. And I think in our case, that would include everything through chapter 23. Was due the first day that we didn't have school. So in theory, you should have had it done since it was already like the morning of the day that it was due. Anyway, so for our class, everything up through that chapter 23 reading assignment, that is assigned. You need to do it. It's a 0 if you don't, and it's a grade if you do. Um, if there are any things that you did not do prior to that, one thing that the district has encouraged us to do is to look with compassion on past situations. So basically, anything from the semester, any homework that you have not done, if you're willing to do it now, I'm going to reopen that. That includes topic 5 even. So through topics 5, 6, 7, any of those that you didn't turn in. If you want to still do it and turn it in for credit, you may do that. You just got to do the work yourself. Now, going forward from there, and this came up, a couple of seniors have asked, like, well, do seniors really have to do anything? I've heard that nothing really counts for seniors, whatever. The policy is not really a senior or non-senior thing. The policy is a universal policy, and that is going forward, starting today, your teachers are going to invite you to do some learning. And they're going to do that in a variety of ways. But none of that learning is going to be scored, or at least not directly scored. So if you're invited to do an assignment, you're encouraged to do it. You're encouraged to pursue your own learning in that way. But it is not like points will not go in the grade book. However, if your grade in a class is not all that it could be, your teachers do have some prerogative to sort of, I guess, to bump your grade in a general sort of way. So they can take into account, well, the student had a B plus, but they've participated in most of the assignments since the quarantine, so I'm going to bump their grade. Like they're allowed to do that. So for all of your classes, the policy is basically the same. Old assignments count. Teachers may, probably will, if you ask, offer opportunities to make up poor or missing grades from before the quarantine. Any assignments that are post quarantine, starting today, are assigned like today and from now on. Any of those assignments do not count in the traditional sense, even though they will, of course, enhance your learning. In our case, that leaves us one, I guess, middling assignment, and that is the chapter 24 reading, which was assigned well before the quarantine, but was never due, like, would have been due like a week into the quarantine or whatever. Anyway, with that particular assignment, I will, if you want to submit that, I will give you points for it, but I will not count it as 0. So like that'll be the last one that I definitively count as points in terms of the chronology of the course. So that's how that will work. Um, I guess as far as other APR stuff, I think the next thing I would like to talk to as many of you as we can. I sent this out in an email and in I think I posted the Google Classroom as well. But I would love to try to set up like a Google Meet is the program or the app that they use. It's called Meet. This is a chance to just hang out and like I guess I'd like to hear from you more than a sentence or two in an email. Just how you doing, and what questions do you have? Not just about this class, but just generally going forward. What questions do you have? What can I help you with? How can I support you in this time? It's a weird time of year, and I know because it's more than half my lifetime ago. I still have some memories of being a high schooler, but I know I'm not as like emotionally tied, I guess, to a lot of what you're probably going through. And I'd like to hear that. And if you have concerns about just, hey, what's this going to look like? What's graduation? Are we doing graduation? Are there going to be department award winners? Are there going to be senior celebrations? Are we going to have open houses? I mean, a lot of these I don't have answers to, but I'd love to hear what's on your mind and just what you're thinking and how you're doing in those regards. One thing that the district is trying to do, especially at the high school level, is set up kind of a mentor teacher, at least like let all students know if you've got questions, you've got issues, you get especially questions beyond the classroom. Just if you just need somebody to know something, you need somebody to help guide you to the answer to a question. We're setting up kind of a mentor relationship of sorts where teachers are being asked to be far more like involved, proactive, and attentive to one of their classes. And fortunately for me, the decision they made was that the fourth hour class is the one that you would do this for. So you guys be my fourth hour class. Um, if you have any of these questions, I will do my very best, obviously for any student in any class to try to find the answers. But if you've got questions just that you need answers from the school district, answers from counselors, whatever, feel free to bring those up to me, and I will do my best to pass them to the relevant people. The district seems to want a very kind of hierarchical structure right now in terms of addressing things. But if you bring things to me, we're still having weekly department meetings using Google Meet. And so I can pass them, if nothing else, I can pass them to my department heads, who they have then a department head meeting an hour after our department meeting. So all the department heads get together with Mr. Call and some of the other power brokers, and we'll try to get some clarification for you. Obviously, there's a lot of things we simply don't know. They could be, in theory, they could be talking about lifting the quarantine for low risk people, within a month, or we could still be sitting here in our houses in August or September. I don't know. I know one of my big questions, just personally, is are we going to have, I know that, winter and spring sports are canceled. Are we going to have fall sports? I confess it's tough to picture right now. It's tough to picture that by the first week of August that they're going to say, yeah, we're good to have football linemen, breathing in each other's mouths at practices and stuff, and locker rooms and things like that. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, and so we'll see. There's a lot that we don't know. And I don't have a ton of answers, but I'll do my best to help find those. So anyway, I will wrap up for now, but I want to, for anybody who's available, I'd love to try a Google Meet together. And this first one, I just want to see if it works, see if we're able to converse, see if the group's too big, or see who's even interested. So in honor of our usual meeting time together, which is 10:40, we're going to meet on Tuesday, April 7th. We're going to meet at 10:40 in the morning. I sent you out the code word. Basically, you go to Google Meet, you type up this code thing, and then it should let you in. But we'll have to see if that works as well as it should. I believe I have to, I'll have to be in before you, so I'll get in about 10:30 and set things up, and then anytime after 10:30, before 10:40, if you want to jump in, and we'll just chat for, 10, 15, 20 minutes. We'll see how it goes, and then I hope we'll be able to use that for like reviewing for the AP test, for me delivering some kind of lecture discussions and some coaching on the new essay format and stuff like that. All that to say, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for your time and for continuing to watch these messages. And as I said, if you got any questions, please email me and I'll do my best to follow up. Thanks a lot.